Shedeur taken some 11 on 11 reps when we're not out there, and do you think that we will see some of those on Wednesday when we do come out again?
Yes, and I would say there's a lot of work that gets done when you guys aren't out there, believe it or not. But even that's, and I say that, Mary Kay, even in a meeting or in a walkthrough, just our guys are getting exposed to a lot.
I know.
Wow, he kept that answer real short, right? Mary Kay asked him about Shedeur. But anyway, we already know why. But so, all right. So it looks like I'm going to have to go live Wednesday. Whenever they do the OTAs, hopefully, I don't know if they're going to have it on here, but, hey, so Wednesday, expect to start seeing some Shedeur team, 11 on 11 team reps.
Kevin, it seems like a lot of conclusions were drawn or have been drawn about where things sort of already stand in the quarterback competition, based in part on one OTA that was open to me. So my question is are those accurate possible evaluations at this point?
Yeah, it's so, I know in our day and age, one clip or one day or one practice can be all that gets out there to the public. I would tell you the guys are working extremely hard. They're doing everything that we're asked of them, and we're very excited about all of our guys. I know a lot of attention goes to that quarterback room. I get it. That's the most important position in football, but I'm really proud of all the guys for how hard they're working really throughout this offseason.
Hey, Kate, you just said it. You just said it, and he gave the exact answer you just said. I'm done, bro. I'm done with this. I ain't watching no more. Because if Mary Kate asking about the quarterback room, and we know who she asking about, talking about the stats they came out from the OTAs. Ain't nobody told y'all to put that out. Y'all did that on your own. You, specifically, the head coach, came out and said, y'all gonna be tracking everything these men do. So if it got out that Tony Grogeski, whatever his name is, whoever put it out there, y'all tracking it, now it's becoming a big deal because Shedeur went 7 for 9 with 3 touchdowns and everybody else had more reps, and Dylan Gabriel threw an interception, and Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett didn't do much of nothing. Now all of a sudden y'all trying to downplay it. No, bro. See what I'm talking about? Every time the boy doing good, they want to downplay it. They don't want to talk, like you just said, they always want to include the other quarterback. They don't want Shedeur there, man. They do not want, they either don't want Shedeur there, or he doing so good that they don't want to say what they really want to say. I don't want him there. Because I don't think he doing bad. Because if he was doing bad, I don't even think they'll be even that, well, you know, Joe Flacco looking like the starter. They'll go ahead and say it, bro. They'll go ahead and say it. So if you want to shut it up, if you really wanted to shut it up, you would name Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett the starter right now. You would name one of them two the starter right now, and now Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, or Kenny Pickett, or Shedeur competing for the number 2 spot. You would name Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett as the starter right now if Shedeur wasn't playing that good. If Shedeur wasn't doing that good, you would name Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco as a starter right now, and you'll shut all this up. All this Shedeur mania, Sanders Nation, whatever you want to call it, because it's foolery. Don't sit up here and tell me you trying to include everybody when Mary Kay up here asking specifically about one quarterback. You always got to include everybody else. It's ridiculous. I'm getting tired of it. If you want to stop it, just name Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett the starter. Because the last time I checked too, they said practice makes perfect. What you do in practice, what you'll do in the game. That's what I done heard. I done played football for over 20 years. Every time, how you practice is how you play. But all of a sudden, OTAs is practice. 3 touchdowns in a 7-on-7, which is practice. 7 for 9 in practice. Don't none of them matter no more. It don't make no sense. You can't change the narrative, man. If you don't want the boy on the team, trade him. Get rid of him right now. Do whatever. But don't leave him on the Cleveland. But this is ridiculous, man. This franchise, I see why I ain't paid attention to this franchise. And I see why this franchise the laughing stock of the league. This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. Y'all don't want to win. How you looking for a quarterback and don't want to play the quarterback? You don't want to give nobody a fair chance. You talking about Kenny Pickett more than you talking about Shedeur.
Shedeur and Dylan specifically in just a month's time.
Yeah, those guys are doing great. They are both wired to get in early, stay late, put in whatever work is required. They're sponges in the meeting room, which I think is really fun for me. In my vantage point, I get to sit there and watch the two young guys look over, and there's Joe, 40 years old, won Super Bowl. There's Kenny Pickett, just going into year 4, but first-round draft pick that's been on a couple teams, won a Super Bowl last year. There's Deshaun, had a ton of success in his career. They can kind of feed.
Hey, them last two, I don't want to learn nothing from. Because Kenny Pickett can't teach me nothing. Deshaun Watson can't teach me nothing. The only one I want to listen to is Joe Flacco. He done been to the mountaintop, done won. He was the starting quarterback and won the Super Bowl. That's the only one I want to hear from. Kenny Pickett, bruh, this your make it or break it year. And you might not make it. Deshaun, you already done. Take your $230 million, go over there, buy all the masseuses you want, go over there with your fiance, y'all can play over there. I'm here with Joe Flacco, Shedeur, and Dylan Gabriel.
Feed off of all those guys, so that's the thing I'm really, it's fun for me to watch them get better sometimes just by listening.
Kevin, how important is it for some of these young players?
Well, them all the reps he getting, listening.
Kevin, will we see anything different at OTAs Wednesday in terms of quarterback rotation?
Honestly, Tony, every day is different. Every day we're mixing and matching, if you will, giving guys different looks. I've told you before, it's not going to be a 25% down the middle type thing, or I guess down to fourths, but we're trying to expose the guys to different things.
What have you learned about these guys, Kevin, that you've had?
Man, didn't he say it was going to be equal at first? Now it ain't 25% down the middle. I don't know, bro. All I know one thing, this week, if Shedeur don't get more reps, trade him.
Here outside for a while.
Yeah, we've learned a lot, Jeff. I think the big thing is, and we've talked about this is an all-encompassing evaluation. So we were evaluating the guys during phase 1, during phase 2, and now finally phase 3, you get to go against your defense in some settings where our quarterbacks and our offense get to go against them in 7-on-7 and some team drills. So all of that adds up to reps for us to look at, and it's not just looking at the result of a play. We're looking really at everything with these guys.
Kevin, Pickett just said that you also met with him in that pre-draft process. What is it about him, his quarterbacking, that suits what you're going to do on offense?
Yeah, well, I'd say we meet with everybody, so I bet you Kenny met with all 32 teams. But I like how Kenny's wired. He's a really tough kid. When we traded for him, Coach Narduzzi called me right away and was thrilled because he just believes in who the young man is and how he goes about his business. He's a gym rat. He's another guy that works extremely hard at his craft. But we're excited about his skill set. I'm excited about the things that he's been exposed to in his young career already. And then, he's just got to, like he's doing right now, he's focusing on putting one good day in front on top of another.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't about to listen to the whole thing, but that answer right there just told me that they like Kenny Pickett more as a person. And whatever he just said about the football, that's a lie. They like Kenny Pickett more as a person than what he's shown on the football field. Because if you look at the numbers, ain't nowhere in the world you going to tell me they believe in Kenny Pickett like that. Ain't nowhere in the world. Dude done threw for more interceptions than he has touchdowns in his career. Joe Flacco, the last 2 years as a backup on 2 different teams, have threw 1,300 yards less than Kenny Pickett has thrown in his whole career. Ain't no way in the world you gonna tell me the Cleveland Browns, that need a franchise quarterback, is banking on Kenny Pickett. The man ain't did nothing. They like his personality and him as a person. The opposite of what they talking about Shedeur. The reason why Shedeur failed, they did not like his personality and did not like him as a person. It had nothing to do with football. He just said the opposite. They like Kenny Pickett because of his personality and because of who he is, not because of football. See what I'm talking about? This type stuff right here is what gonna get y'all keep losing. Cause you like a dude that ain't no good just cause he a good person and have a good personality. What does numbers say? What does numbers say? Numbers don't lie.
Has Shedeur taken some 11 on 11 reps?
I know y'all hear that voice. That Mary Kate. I think Kenny Pickett gonna get traded though. If they don't trade Kenny Pickett, trade Shedeur. Cause they didn't draft Dylan Gabriel to be a starter. They didn't draft him to be a starter. Cause they already had Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco. Dylan Gabriel was gonna be the 3rd string quarterback. Cause Deshaun Watson hurt. But when they drafted Shedeur, now it's an open quarterback competition. Dylan Gabriel could be the starter. Come on, be for real. Be for real.